Buddy, Governor Inslee says he firmly believes that today's start of the no mask, no service mandate is going to save lives.
This as a new group has just filed a lawsuit to throw out the mandate on constitutional grounds. KOMO's Keith Eldridge live with what both sides are saying tonight. Keith?
All right, the governor says he doesn't want clerks to get into any kind of confrontation with people. He says that if somebody shows up without a mask, just don't ring up the sale. No need for an altercation. But the group filing the lawsuit worries about that.
This is a good news press conference, and maybe that will surprise you, but that's how I look at it. Because I believe we have the tools at our disposal, in our hands, just over the tip of our nose, that can allow us to have these things this summer and this fall and next winter.
Day one of the no mask, no service call from the governor and state health secretary. As we were out today, we saw a lot of people complying with the new order, the governor's latest attempt to curb the growing number of coronavirus cases. But a group of Washington citizens just filed a lawsuit through the Freedom Foundation challenging the constitutionality of the governor's order, saying it infringes on their right to free speech. It's unenforceable, and they believe little scientific evidence that it works. Lead attorney Shellis Dovnik says people are being harassed like she was.
I am 6 months pregnant, and it's very difficult for me to breathe. So wearing a face mask is not an option for me. And I was at the local QFC, and a big burly man started yelling at me for not wearing a mask. And I think this is the kind of conflict and public opprobrium you're going to get from these mask edicts. You know, neighbor turning against neighbor and communities in disarray over something that hasn't been proven scientifically.
This is something that can save lives. There is nothing in the Constitution that says people should die of a virus. It's just not there. And anybody can file a lawsuit, but so far courts have upheld.
Told that the coronavirus could hit states especially hard in the fall as cases and deaths are projected to surge. More than 200,000 COVID-19 deaths are predicted in the country by November 1st. KOMO's Tammy Mutasa has the latest information and what could help reduce some of those numbers.
Eric, IHME researchers say our country will not be spared in the fall because we didn't truly experience an end to this first wave of the COVID-19 pandemic. But experts say wearing a mask could make a big difference, saving lives. The latest numbers from UW's Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation show significant COVID-19 deaths in the fall. IHME researchers project 208,255 deaths in the country by November 1st. The last projection showed more than 175,000 Americans will die of coronavirus by October 1st. Researchers say those numbers dropped to 162,808 if at least 95% of people wear masks in public. That's 45,000 fewer deaths just by wearing a mask. In Washington state, deaths are projected to reach 2,510. The new projections factor states reimposing strong social distancing mandates when deaths per day reach a level of 8 per 1 million people. The death projections get higher if no state action is taken and no masks are worn.
Mask use is an important and effective strategy for reducing transmission.
Officials say many states are expected to see cases and deaths jump significantly in September and October, especially as the flu season hits.
Everyone, including people in leadership roles, are at risk when they are coming into contact with people and not avoiding contact and not wearing a mask.
State, thousands of students are home for the summer, of course, and there are still so many questions about who's going back to the classroom this fall and how they're going to do it. Right now, Seattle Public Schools has some proposals on the table. KOMO's Suzanne Fawn has reaction from parents and teachers.
Going back to the classroom during the COVID-19 pandemic raises a lot of concerns and questions for parents like Sabrina Burr. Her daughter is going to be a junior at Cleveland High School.
Would probably be a hybrid version, but the environment that she would go back to, I'm not so comfortable with sending her in a building.
We are also offering families a 100% online option.
Seattle Public Schools says it's got several options on the table for fall. The district says it needs to balance the safety of students and staff and ensure their learning.
To socially distance, I could probably have 8 students at a time in my class.
Liz Olson teaches 8th grade dual language immersion at Denny International Middle School in West Seattle. She's excited to see her students again, but she also says,
I am very nervous that we're not not able to do that safely, though.
Olson says teachers cannot teach effectively with social distancing.
I bend down next to them and answer a question, or if they're very shy or if they're anxious, that's how I can connect with them. And at 6 feet away, I'm concerned about not being able to effectively do that.
Seattle Public School authorities say that learning during the COVID-19 pandemic means a blended approach, which includes online learning and in-class learning.
This is just a complex situation with no easy answers.
Jennifer Motter with the Seattle Education Association says the teachers union is working closely with the school district to make sure everyone stays safe and healthy and that learning is accessible for everyone. In Seattle, Suzanne Fawn, KOMO News.
Breaking now, Kay Letourneau, the former Burien teacher convicted of raping a student who she later married, has died at age 58.
Letourneau gained national attention for her relationship with a student that started when he was just 12 years old. KOMO's Joel Moreno spoke to Letourneau's attorney tonight about her death. Joel?
Preston and Mary, Letourneau's attorney says she led a complicated life here in Burien, filled with scandal, but not with shame. And even as cancer overcame her, she was unrepentant to the end.
When Mary Kay Letourneau began a relationship with Vili Falau, he was just a student in her 6th grade class.
Her legacy should be one of greatness, but to many people, she was just a pedophile. And
David Gerke, a friend and neighbor of Letourneau, also represented her as she found herself in court charged with rape. Every time he'd ask her why she would choose a child, Gerke says she told him it was love.
And I said, Mary, I'm not questioning that. I'm questioning you're the adult. You're the one that had to hold back. And you didn't, and now you're in prison.
Letourneau initially caught a break from the judge, but was caught with Falau again and ended up serving a 7.5-year sentence behind bars. By then, she'd also given birth to 2 of Falau's children. And after her release, Letourneau and Falau got married. Though eventually they divorced, Gerke says they stayed close. When Letourneau learned she had terminal cancer late last year, Falau came back to be by her side.
He came up the last couple of months, left everything he had down there and came up just to be with her and to help her. They loved each other tremendously to the last day.